This episode contains conversations on mental health, eating disorders, and body image. Viewer discretion is advised. If you or a loved one is suffering from an eating disorder, please visit nationaleatingdisorders.org or call or text 1-800-931-2237. If you are in a crisis and need help immediately, text NEDA to 741-741. Hello, and welcome to the Collaboration Conversation, a listener-supported video podcast where Christian artists, entrepreneurs, and friends can share about their upcoming projects and how they are using the gifts and talents that God has given them. This podcast is only made possible through generous listeners and friends like you, and we are so very grateful for our supporters. If you would like to sponsor an episode, you can head over to thecollaborationconversation.org and click Sponsor an Episode. Likewise, if you want to check out or support our nonprofit ministry, Project Brickworks, you can head over to projectbrickworks.org. And this is going to be a very special, unique episode. It's just the two of us today.
Yes, it is.
I feel like it's been a minute since we've done one of these.
Couple of months?
Yeah. First of all, happy Thanksgiving, Mom.
Well, thanks.
I hope you guys all had a very happy Thanksgiving, safe travels. In fact, a lot of you might be listening to this on the road, traveling home from Thanksgiving. And I hope you guys had a wonderful turkey day. Got to celebrate with your families and loved ones and close peeps, I hope.
That would be very nice.
I know. Today is going to be a little off the cuff. This is probably the most unscripted,
I would agree,
podcast we'll ever do. Probably. You and I are such planners and scripters, and we like to have a plan. So you'll just have to bear with us, folks. We're going to get a little personal today. We're excited about that. We're nervous. And by we, I mean me.
Which is really funny because I'm sure we're pretty personal on the other days. But we're going to get
personal.
Really personal.
Well, we're going to talk about some mental health and things like that. And yeah, I think it's going to be good. I think we're also going to talk a lot about what we're thankful for. That's how we're going to start.
Yes,
but before we jump in, I know that we have a scripture we'd like to read. So would you do the honors?
Oh, I would love to. Shout for joy to the Lord, all the earth. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful songs. Know that the Lord is God. It is he who made us, and we are his. We are his people, the sheep of his pasture. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give him thanks and praise his name. For the Lord is good, and his love endures forever. His faithfulness continues through all generations. And that is from Psalm 100.
Yes, and amen.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite scriptures.
Yeah.
When I pray, I try every day. I quote the 104. Is it 4 and 5?
Yeah.
The enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. I love that.
I am very grateful that he made us and that we are his. That's my first one. That's my first I am thankful statement of the podcast.
I mean, we wouldn't know if we weren't made, but yes.
Well, you know what I mean.
No, I totally agree. And that we get to be in the family that we're in.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, me too. So how do you want to do this? Do you want to just go back and forth, a little fast round?
You know, what this makes me think of is one of the things that we used to do as a family, but now you all have left me and gotten married and have spouses.
Left me. Oh, she's so dramatic.
But I used to have a jar. And
I still have a jar.
Well, we all have jars, but it was a special jar.
Oh, okay.
And it had, all through the year, I would collect events and concerts and ball games and trips and museums and all of the things that we would do during the year. And I would put them in this jar. And then at Thanksgiving, for a while, we would go around and say what we're thankful for. But of course, everybody says the same thing: family, God, Jesus.
Right.
It all becomes the
pretty Sunday school answers. Yeah,
exactly. So we would pull, and you would rarely get one that you did, So,
okay.
So Bo might pull a Wicked ticket.
Right.
And then we would get to, talk about that event. And, we went to see Wicked 18 times.
Over the last however many years, yeah.
Out of 19 years.
We've seen it a lot.
In fact, I think the pandemic ruined that record.
I know.
I mean, I could be wrong, but anyway.
Yeah.
But that, or the boys would go see LSU game, at home, or
Whatever it was. Yeah.
Right.
We just tried to keep track of all of the big events and things that we did throughout the year. And
I thought that was really fun.
it was always fun and very special.
I think Jesse even liked it.
Are you saying he doesn't like most things?
No, he just doesn't like to go to the movies with us.
Well, that's true. Yes.
But I think that was something we all look forward to.
Yeah.
So, but now it's not easy to collect everybody's stuff because
and not only that, because of the pandemic, we're not doing that much.
Well, that's true.
So,
good point. Well, anyway, so I always liked that tradition that we had at Thanksgiving. But one of the things I was going to tell you is, or just remind you because you already know this, I don't do this every day, but when I was working full time and I drove on the interstate, I did it every day because, I had a 45-minute commute. But I try and say every day 50 things that I'm thankful for. So some of the things are the same. I thank God for God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit and the Bible and for forgiveness and, those kinds of things. But then, family, friends, Sunday school class, jobs, cars, our homes, those, all of the things that are staples in our life that give us the comfortable life that we have. But then every day I try to mix it up. Sometimes it'll be about nature and creation and seasons and rainbows and colors. And other days it'll be more creative or work related, like Project Brickworks and the collaboration conversation. Collaboration
Easy.
Conversation. Sorry. And then, music. Music is almost magic. Mm-hmm. It just, I read a meme or something that said that
read a meme.
You know what I mean? But it was a picture of a brain, and it said the only thing that we do in our lives that takes all of our brain power, like it's not split up, the entire brain is involved, is music. When you listen to music, that is just so cool. But anyway, music and humor.
There's lots of things to be thankful for.
There's not many things cooler than somebody who's funny.
Yeah, it's true.
That makes life so pleasant and wonderful. Anyway, so just, I would even challenge everybody. A friend of mine back at home, she started doing this on her way to work, and she was like, okay, this is awesome. It really sets the tone for the day. And it really does.
Yeah.
And now I barely get up in the morning and wash my face.
What commute? Yeah.
I know, I got to get a job so that I can get back into my routine.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's just so important to be thankful. So now that we're in the Thanksgiving season, and I realize that this is the day after Thanksgiving, but I still kind of hang on to that. I always say it's my favorite holiday. Everyone says that's a lie, that it really is Christmas, and it probably is.
Yeah.
But I love Thanksgiving.
You do love Thanksgiving. Yeah. You're a Thanksgiving kind of lady.
So, back and forth is fine. I want to start with, I'm thankful that our Sunday school class, I can't believe this still, bought us an air conditioning unit.
Wow.
And had it installed. And in the meantime, while we were waiting for that, one of the couples in our class brought over, I'm going to give them a shout out. It was Spencer and Brandy, brought over a portable unit. And so we had cool air.
What a blessing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we've been without air conditioning working properly for over 3 years. And especially once I lost my job, there was no possible way we were going to be able to afford that.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, thank the Lord for them and for the Sunday school class. Shout out to John and Carla Visser. They were really involved in that process as well.
Amazing.
So
you guys have such a good group of friends.
Oh my gosh, that's going to be on my list later. Keep going.
I'm thankful for them as well. Your group of friends.
Well, I'm glad you are.
I'm thankful for my husband. I have a husband this year. I didn't have a husband any other year.
Yeah.
This is very exciting. So I got married this year, and it went beautifully. I had such a wonderful day. Nick and I we were made for each other. I truly believe that. And he's such a blessing to me, and God made him just for me and me for him. So very blessed to have him, very thankful for him.
Yep. I would say that I'm thankful for my kids. I just feel so blessed to even know you guys, all three of you, Bo and Sarah and Jesse. Now we have Nick that has been added to the family. Love him. He's very funny, and he also lets me stay with you guys when I come down.
Yeah.
But Jesse got married too.
Yep.
Middle of last year, but had a second wedding.
Yes.
This year, and he has married a young lady, which just is crazy, named Sarah.
Yes.
With an H.
Yep. We have the same name.
Exactly. Sarah LeJeune.
Sarah LeJeune and Sarah LeJeune.
We can
differentiate.
Keep that separate. But anyway, I'm very grateful that Jesse found somebody that he loves and that they are happily married.
Yeah, for sure. Gosh, there's just so many things to be thankful for. It's hard for me to just list them out without being like my mom, my dad. But I am thankful for my mom and my dad, and I'm thankful that you guys are just such a great support team, and you guys pray for us, and you love us, and you visit. Mostly that you come and visit, because I don't come up to Fairview anymore, but just that you come to me. Thank you so much. But no, I'm super grateful for you guys, and yeah,
sweet,
and Bo too, of course.
Right, he usually comes with us, so that's awesome. I would say that one of the things I'm thankful for, and we barely survived this through the pandemic, is our church, but more specifically our Sunday school class. we have friendships in there that I want to say will last a lifetime. That means less at this age than it did when I was 20. But, I mean, very special friends.
Yeah.
That if and when we ever move to Chattanooga, literally that's the only thing that's keeping me in Fairview.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and obviously Dad's job, but, just special folks. We didn't get to see each other a whole lot during the pandemic, but we definitely Zoomed and tried to keep in touch. And so now that we're all kind of back a little bit, it's not all full back, but it's getting close.
Yeah,
we're just really blessed.
Yeah. Along those lines, friends, I'm thankful for my friends. I'm thankful for Elizabeth and Sim and Amelia and John Samuel for that family. And
they're sweet.
For Olivia, she's the busiest person that I know now. And I'm very grateful to her and for her taking, continuing to take time to invest in our friendship, even though she's the busiest woman on the planet.
Yeah.
I miss her very much, and I'm grateful for her. I'm grateful for the Hollands. I consider them friends, even though they're family, but they are my friends as well. And, I've got a lot of really great friends here in Chattanooga that I'm really thankful for.
Really do.
I've been praying for Chattanooga friends for a long time, and I have them, and I'm very grateful for all of them.
And they're just really cool people.
They are. They are so cool. I feel so uncool, but yes, they are cool.
Oh, no. You fit in that group so well, but your pastor and his wife.
Yeah.
Trip and Grace.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to name them all, but these are some really cool people.
Very grateful for them.
You guys did a really good job picking friends, because you could have picked really nerdy people. And I'm just kidding.
My husband's a nerd, so we do have nerdy friends. That is true.
Yeah.
I know it's not my turn anymore, but I'm grateful for our jobs, my husband's job and my job.
Yes, you both get to work from home.
Yeah, we both get to work from home, which has been really, really great. I've been working from home for a very long time, since before the pandemic, but he is working from home pretty much forever now, probably, I would imagine.
But then transition came because of the pandemic.
Yeah. But definitely grateful that we get to do that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, and this sounds weird, perhaps, but I am grateful for the time that I've had off from work.
Yeah.
I lost my job at the end of 2018. No, 19. Oh my gosh.
I know.
I have no idea what year it is. And I mean, I was obviously devastated at first, and and then pandemic and all that went into that. But I really had tried. I know I didn't do a good job consistently, but I really tried to think of it as a sabbatical. To think in terms of rest, which I've never gotten. I started working at 16, sometimes 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs. I mean, I even did that through all 3 kids. I took a few weeks off for maternity leave, and then I was back at it.
Yeah.
And in somewhat responsible positions for the most part, and, high energy, kind of stressful jobs at times. So, and a lot of travel. I mean, it was a crazy time. But anyway, so to take that time, I guess I'm technically still taking that time, to rest, I read a lot, really tried to dig deeper into scripture and prayer and just be more in tune. I was just so busy and so distracted before. But anyway, so I feel like I need to be thankful for that time. I probably am ready to go back to work full time. If anybody wants,
if anybody's hiring. Yeah.
See, Okay. Well, I'll say that for my next one. I have one for you, but I want to see what you're
No, go ahead.
I'm thankful for your church.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. I'm thankful for my church. I love my church. I love my church. It's the reason we're never moving from Chattanooga. But yes, love Chattanooga, love City Collective, the people that have just poured into Nick and I, and then have allowed us to pour into them as well. And we just feel very discipled, and we're just in a very good spot. So yeah, I would say that's a big one.
Yeah. My other one that I was going to kind of tag on is I'm thankful. I did get a very small little part-time job, and it just cracks me up. So I'm working for a country cover band, but they're the best probably in the world. And I'm sure I'm not, I'm
biased.
I'm not biased. I'm totally objective. But they're funny, and they just crack us up. Dad and I go every Sunday to not every Sunday, but many Sundays to see them play. And it's for us, at least at this season, it's just been great. And we take friends almost every week. We took Kenny up to Graph recently, and oh my gosh, he's like, I'm moving to Nashville. I'm like, I know, right? He goes, you do this every week? And we're like, yeah. He's like, this is the best way to start the week. And I'm like, I know, right? So anyway, so shout out to the 10-Year Town guys. It's been a very fun, we've been working on their website and getting some publicity out there. They play at at Gaylord Opryland Hotel fairly consistently every week. So just trying to promote them.
Nice.
So that's been fun.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know how much longer you want to go back and forth, but I know that one that we're both thankful for, that maybe we can wrap up on unless you have more that you want to share, but that we're both thankful for is Project Brickworks and those who support us in lots of different capacities. We have folks who volunteer for us. We have folks who donate monthly and are partnering with us financially. We have folks who just promote us by word of mouth. We have people who just, even if you just have watched a podcast or listened to a podcast.
No, there are people who've done that.
I'm shocked.
I know.
We were pretty sure that nobody would ever watch this. And we're finding out that people watch it, which is great. And by people, I mean 5 people. I'm just kidding.
No, well,
maybe, but you know what I'm saying.
I tracked some of this for our board of directors meeting. So we're over 13,500 views, which is insane.
That's
Who
insane.
in the world is watching this?
I know.
Well, we talked to a couple of folks yesterday that I'm shocked had watched it.
Yeah.
These are important, busy people.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
Nice. Yeah, I'll take it.
It was very sweet.
So we just are immeasurably grateful to anybody who supports us in any capacity. If you're even just listening to this, you are one of those people. So we are so, so grateful. We really, our heart is to impact people and to connect people. And that's what we want to do. And we can't do it without you guys. So
we hadn't talked about this, and I know I'm off script just a little bit.
There's no script.
Oh, well, that's true. Off not script. But I feel like we talk about what the mission is. And I feel like we really know it. But sometimes I feel like it's lost in translation, perhaps. And so I just want to say it again. This idea that God prepared good works in advance for everyone to do. Right? And I shouldn't say everyone. These are the people who want to do good works to be a blessing to God and give him honor and glory, right? There are people who do not care. But for the most part, right, our audience, whatever you want to say, people who love Jesus, there are good works that have been established from before we were born by God for us to do. And he equips us to do them. I love that, right? He gives us talents and he gives us gifts, and we are... really, you think of the word gift, right? It's something that he is giving freely, and we need to not only completely own it, but we need to be using it we call it to build our brick, right? And then he collaborates with us as he builds his kingdom. So just a reminder of why we're doing what we're doing. For those of you who get it, amen, bravo, keep up the good work. But for those of you who are even maybe new Christians or haven't really given this any thought, do it. Now is the time. You want to live the rest of your life in a way that is deliberate and that glorifies God, and he always works these things out for our good and our joy. So one of the things that we're adding, we think, to the website in the next short bit is that folks can sign up for a sign up, schedule, whatever you want to call it, a time to meet with one of us via Zoom to talk about talents and gifts, to really kind of explore that. We do have a gifts assessment on the website, and you can, it's under the resource page, and you can go there and you can find out what your talents and gifts are. And I feel like sometimes people kind of downplay this, but it's so much a part of who we are, right? My friend Keisha and I, we did this spiritual gift assessments, and it was all the same. I mean, and we sit next to each other in Sunday school, and we're very, very similar.
Yeah.
But there's like one or two that make us unique and different. And there are some of those strengths that she's just better at, and I'm okay with that. Even the ones we share. But it's just this idea of paying attention, right? So we are going to put this on the website. So if you want to just call in, and we've done this before, it's just been kind of haphazard. It just, someone calls, or we cross paths, or maybe on social media, somebody's out of work, and so then there'll be a conversation or a call or something. And so we're just going to try and get that more
solidified and scheduled.
Did I leave anything out on that?
No, I think you said they can call in, but it'll be a scheduled thing on the website.
Right.
You can go, and that's okay. And it'll be under the Project Inspire. That's part of the Project Inspire campaign that we have, which does include speaking engagements. And so that is something that we have also started doing. Yeah. So if you're interested in having us come and speak to your church, community, whatever it is, we would love to do that. And so you can head over to our website and find the Project Inspire campaign, and that is where all of that information will live. And so, this is just a small version of that. So if you don't have, if you want to just have a one-on-one session, we can do that. But then also, if you want to hear us speak to a group on a bigger scale, we can do that as well. So that's just part of where we're growing, which is incredible. Like, we had no idea that was coming, and it's very exciting. So we are grateful to God for that opportunity.
Amen.
So, and then just again, that kind of came from me talking about how just grateful we are for this ministry, and for those of you who are involved or who've listened. And so just again, we are very thankful for you.
It's really funny. We have one volunteer who's fairly active, and so I want to give her a shout out. And that's for Jen Russell. She's awesome. But I think the other person that works almost as hard as we do is your husband.
Yeah, I know.
He's the best.
He's awesome. And he doesn't even get any credit.
So I'm giving him credit.
That's awesome. It's very nice of you.
Yeah.
He'll appreciate that.
Well, so let's transition a little bit. One of the things that you're thankful for is as part of your journey this year.
Yeah, I'll dive in. So this is where it gets a little personal. So I'm happy to share. I'm an open book. I don't feel like I have anything to hide. But also, more importantly, I think that some people can resonate with my story, and that I just hope that one person can hear it and be inspired, or seek the help that they need. So without going super super long into it, very long story short is I was diagnosed with binge eating disorder, which is an eating disorder. Back in October of 2020, so about a year ago. And I was unable at the time to seek like a higher level of treatment, like actually go to an eating disorder facility. And so I had just kind of gotten through a friend of mine who has an eating disorder, who has the same eating disorder. I just got some recommendations and kind of figured out what to do on my own. I'm a very go-getter. That's very much my personality. And I was like, okay, I got to figure out how I can get a team together. That's what we call our group of professionals who work with us through our eating disorder treatment. So that's when I say team, my team, that's what I'm referring to. Is usually a therapist, a dietitian, a psychiatrist, things like that. So, I used a local company here in Chattanooga called Focus Treatment Center. I wasn't able to actually go to Focus at the time, but they were able to, I just reached out and said, hey, I'm not able to seek treatment at this time because of insurance purposes, or insurance reasons, but is there anyone you would recommend I go see? And so I started on this journey with a therapist and a dietitian. An eating disorder, it's important to distinguish an eating disorder informed dietitian or specialized dietitian and therapist. And I saw them for about a year, and I don't know how to describe to you guys what, and some of you have eating disorders. I'm sure somebody who's listening. And so you'll get it, you'll understand. But to finally have a diagnosis and like a name for what's going on inside my brain was pretty life altering. There's something for me about naming it. And we talk about naming it in like a positive way about like naming talents and gifts, but like naming what is wrong and like why I do the things that I do, was just really life changing. So yeah, I had this team, and I've been working with this team, and we'd been doing some really great work. And in August of this year of 2021, they recommended, despite the fact that I felt like I'd been doing some great work, we were really hitting a wall. And I don't really know how deep to go. I feel like I'm just going to go as deep as I go. And if anybody, I'm going to probably say this several times, but if anybody wants to reach out and talk to me more about it, I'm happy to talk about it. Like I said, I want awareness this is why we're having this conversation, is for awareness and to take the stigma off of the conversation. But, I totally lost my train of thought, but I remember. So with my eating disorder, there's kind of two major facets to it. There's the food facet, like my relationship with food and things like that. And then there's the body image part and the way that I treat my body and the way that I view and feel about my body. And so through this outpatient, when I say outpatient, that means just like not in a facility. I just have my own therapist and my own dietitian working together with me. In this outpatient team, I really had come a long way with my relationship with food. I was making really great progress, and that felt really great. But I was making absolutely zero progress with my body image and the way that I view myself. And so the space between where I started and where I'd come with food, but my body image still being back here, this space was so painful. And it was so, it's hard to describe, but it was just really, really painful emotionally. It was very anxiety inducing. I have had anxiety and depression in the past, but not this consistently. I was consistently anxious and depressed, throughout 2021. Again, COVID I'm sure plays a part in this. But being diagnosed with an eating disorder and starting to get treatment for that, I'm sure takes the cake on that. But anyway, so, in August, because of this tension that I was describing to you, where I wasn't making any progress with my body image and things like that, my team recommended that I needed to seek what they would call a higher level of care, which means I needed to go to a eating disorder treatment facility. And so I did. I spent pretty much all of September in an eating disorder facility. I went to Alsana in Birmingham, giving them a little bit of a shout out. That's where I went for treatment, and I was in a program where I was there for 12 hours a day. I was there from 7:30 to 7:30, and Sunday through Saturday. It was all day, every day. Well, the weekends were half days, but it was very intense. And I don't really know where to go from here, but just like, it was such an intense experience. It was a great experience. If I had to do it over again, I would.
Well, let me
interject. I feel like I'm going.
Or even just remind you of things that were difficult or positive.
Sure.
I would tell you that the first week seemed to be the hardest.
Yeah, and I think that's also very common. So like, if you're going to go, or if you've been, that is the case. I heard that so many times. People are like, well, the first week's kind of a wash because it's just so emotional. And it really was. And especially with COVID, the way we were eating with people, like with like screens up, and I was like, I felt like I was kind of in prison, to be honest. That's kind of how it, like a nice prison, but that's kind of how it felt.
And while it was a very good experience, I also got the impression that they weren't quite ready for.
Well, I mean,
for you yet.
I think that
I mean, it was a holiday.
I mean, okay, you just opened up like a whole can of worms, so I feel like I have to explain that. So like, basically, I was admitted on a holiday on Labor Day, and so not all of the staff was there, which makes sense. It's a holiday, but that was weird for me to come in on my very first day without having any eating disorder facility treatment experience.
Right.
That was unique. I think that usually, at least from their perspective, it's pretty rare to get a fresh face. Like usually you're stepping down from a higher level of care or you're stepping up from a lower level of care. So you've already been in this world. And I was a clean slate. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know any of the rules. I knew nothing. And it really felt like they were not prepared is what she's kind of referring to. Right. But like I mean, it was important on that day, but then like I got my act together and like I just figured it out because that's what I had to do to survive was figure it out.
Yeah.
And so the first week was tough. And while you're in treatment, you are given an individual therapist and an individual dietitian that you're working with. And then there's group sessions and things like that. And my time there was so beneficial. It really opened my eyes to how sick that I was. I had no idea how sick I was. And that was really painful. It was really painful. It was the first time. Oh, also the first week was the first time I'd ever met with a psychiatrist, which was another reason why that week was so hard was I got put on medication. I got put on medication for anxiety and depression. And it honestly, there's like a time for your body to adjust. And that was super painful. I was exhausted. I was so tired that week. I was like a zombie. Now, obviously I have, adjusted. And so now it's fine. But that was another reason why that week was so tough. But I will say being emotionally regulated by medication is not a bad thing. And I'm telling you that is one of the best things that has come from that. I remember, and those of you who know me personally, especially in the last 5 years, I did not used to act this way. And this is new, but basically in the last 5 years, I just kind of have realized that I had lost control of my ability not to cry. And I think 100% it was anxiety. My anxiety was always at a 10. And so anything would make me cry. I could just introduce myself to somebody and I start tearing up. I'm like, what is wrong with me? And so now medicated, and I'm a proponent for medication. If you need medication, that's why God made doctors. But I don't know. You know what I mean? Like being emotionally regulated has honestly changed the game for me. So that was a really big positive of going to Alsana. I was getting the psychiatric help that I needed, but then also the emotional help. And, there's trauma. Everybody has trauma. But trauma has played a huge part in my body image and, things like that. And so really working through that with just wonderful people. I am so grateful for every single person that I was in treatment with. I made such good friends and was really able to pour into people and be poured into. And so it was a really intense month. I was there for 3.5 weeks. And then I transferred to a lower level of care. So, here in Chattanooga at a place called Focus, and it's virtual. So I'm not actually going there.
Right.
But I'm technically still in treatment. I'll be in treatment probably until Christmas or so. And then I'll move back to being an outpatient. And just the work that I have done and that people have helped me do and the support system I have. I mean, you and Nick and, our family and my friends and the people, nobody that I have told this to has been ugly about it or awkward about it. I've just been so embraced and the compassion that I've received,
especially your community group.
Oh yeah. That's just the compassion that I've received from my loved ones and from my friends and from my people, my tribe, if you will, was just incredible. And it's continuing to be incredible. People are still checking in and how can we support you? How can we help you? Things like that. And so, it's been a journey. I'm still on it. I think that recovery is lifelong, just like recovery from any type of mental illness. And so I feel like I have such a, like I said, I never felt sicker when I was at Alsana. Mm-hmm. And it's true. And when I left Alsana, I never felt sicker, but but that's like not in a bad way. Like I just was so aware of how sick I was.
Right.
And so through the work that I did there, and then now that I'm at Focus and the team I have there, I just feel much more equipped to live my life to the fullest. But I just also have an eating disorder. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. And it's such a positive outlook. And like eating disorders are not always positive, obviously. I mean, there are days where I don't feel this way. But this is how I want to feel, and how I felt a lot of the days lately is just kind of this hope. And it's, a hope that I have in Jesus as well. Like I know that he is with me, and he was with me. Oh man, I just can't even tell you, just a little caveat. I could feel it while I was at Alsana, especially in that first week. I felt so broken. I have never felt so broken in my life. And he was opening and showing me opportunities left and right to love people and to minister to them and and it was just incredible. It was so incredible to feel God working and to feel him use me even in my most broken state. And it was so wonderful. And I give him all of the glory for that. And for the success, I'm putting that in quotation marks for those who are listening and not watching, but success that I had in the sense of like getting help and like really soaking it up and taking it in. 'Cause it's hard work. Yeah. You guys, eating disorders suck. And it's such hard work. And so many people suffer from eating disorders and don't ever get help.
True.
And so I just want to, just encourage folks that it is okay to ask for help. It's okay to, I don't want to say it's okay to be sick, but it's okay that wherever you're at, Jesus is going to meet you there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and I think we all think we have to have our ducks in a row all the time.
Yes.
And people's ducks aren't in rows.
I just love that you always use that ducks in a row. But it's so true. And I'm a 3 on the Enneagram. I can't let people know that I'm sick, that I have an eating disorder. Like that's not cool, right?
Right, totally.
Like and I kind of regret saying that, but like that's like, you know what I mean? Like that's the mentality that I had I had to keep it together. I couldn't tell anybody. I couldn't ask for help. I couldn't go to a retreat and take off work for however long. And I say retreat, but a recovery center, and where it was not a retreat, it was work. And I don't know. There is such a freedom in getting help. There's such a freedom in naming and sitting in the uncomfortableness of it, because it's uncomfortable. I know it is, but there's a freedom in naming it and getting help. And it's, like I said, it is a lifelong journey, and recovery does not look, like a chart that just goes straight up. It's got ups and downs, and I've got good days and I've got bad days. I've got days of relapse. And that just that's just part of the journey. And that's why having a support system and a team around you that is going to support you, that's why it's so important. And so I just want to encourage you guys that if you are having any kind of mental health issues, and I know that especially in the pandemic, I mean, mental health issues are
and during the holidays.
Staggering amounts of depression and anxiety. I mean, I just want you guys to know that you're not alone, and that it's okay to talk about it. And if you feel like you don't have a support system to talk to, we are always here. You can absolutely reach out, and we can help get you connected with somebody who can help, or, whatever that looks like. Totally. And so, we just want to encourage you to know that it's okay to get help. And it's okay to ask God to meet you exactly where you're at. You don't have to have it together first. You don't.
Well, amen. So kind of along the lines of thankfulness, one of the things that came to mind while you were sharing just now is that you have 2 folks who employ you, who we are so grateful to for letting you have that time.
Yeah. John and Micah. I don't know if they'll ever hear this. Micah, maybe. Yeah. But yeah, they were incredibly gracious. I mean, and part of that is also, and that's like, I'm not giving myself credit, but I was very honest with them about why I was leaving. It wasn't like I was, hey, I need to take some time off for some personal reasons. I mean, I told them what was happening. I told them where I was going. I told them what was wrong, which not everybody can do, and that's okay. I just found that was the best way for me to handle that. And they just were so gracious and loving. And I'm so grateful for you guys.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've told you this, but Micah actually checked in to me, which, we know each other a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Yeah.
To see how you were multiple times, I was like, she's got great bosses and great friends.
For sure. And I had lots of people check in on me. Candace Kirkpatrick, she messaged me almost every day and prayed for me. I know. And there were people who, if you're watching this and you knew about it and you were praying for me, I felt it. Please know that I felt it every day. It's such hard work, and you really don't know it. It's because and I also want to say this to families of people who have eating disorders or loved ones. It's okay to not understand. And I think that's something that you guys do really well. I might get emotional about this. Oh, weird.
Don't.
Oh, why are you going to go?
If you do, I will.
Okay, I'll try really hard.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No, it's just nice that, because I'm emotionally regulated, I know that when I cry, it's because I really mean it.
I think you've always meant it.
I know, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I have found, especially with Nick and with you guys, there are things that they will never get. And so if you're a family member or a loved one of someone who has an eating disorder, it's really important to accept that fact that you might not understand it fully. And that's okay, right? I don't know how to better describe that, but you can still be there for somebody and still love them and support them, even if you don't fully understand what's going on in their heads.
You've said it well.
And so for you guys and for Nick, I feel like what you guys did really well was you asked me, what can we do to help you through this? And sometimes the answer, bless his heart, Nick, I'll be like, I don't know. And, that just has to be okay in that moment. But there are going to be times, throughout recovery where I have learned skills. I'm learning skills. I'm learning things that are helpful. I'm learning things that aren't helpful. And I'm able to say to Nick or to you, hey, when you say this is really not helpful.
Right.
And so for you guys to not take it, you don't take it personally. You take that as my support system. Cool. Now I know what helps and what doesn't help. And so, just for those of you who love someone who has an eating disorder, just remember that the best thing you can do for them is pray for them and be there for them and listen. And just understand that it's okay if you don't understand.
Right. I would agree that, I'm a problem solver.
Right. Nick too.
So I wanted to problem solve all this time. And I just don't have, I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the tools. I don't have the experience to be helpful. So I think it was probably in that week or so where you were getting ready to go, where I just kind of was like, okay, I'm just going to wait and hopefully be educated.
Yeah.
And hopefully ask good questions. Sometimes I'd ask a question, I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be a trigger and I'm sorry, but I just don't know the answer.
Yeah.
I don't, but when you came back, you did say, we had a little family meeting with everybody, and you were able to clarify a lot of things. And this is helpful. This is not helpful. And there's even times when I start to say something, I'm thinking, okay, I can't say that. I'm headed down the wrong path. And of course I don't do it intentionally.
Well, no. And I never want you to feel like you can't say something to me.
Oh,
but,
I know.
You know what I mean? But you're my mom. So you are, and that's also very fresh. So you are trying to tread lightly, yes. I'm sure. And that's, yeah. I'm not going to censor you. You can say whatever you want to me. But when you say, how can I help you? I'll say, well, avoiding this topic of conversation with me, have it with somebody, but just not with me.
Right.
And that's okay. And so, yeah, that was great. Something you said sparked something in my head, but now I can't think of what it was. Ugh, I hate when that happens.
Was it the family meeting?
No, but that was also really great. We had when I got back, we had a family meeting about it where I was able to kind of share about my time and what I needed. And that's another encouragement to those who are suffering from eating disorder. If you're able to be open like that with your support system, I highly recommend that. But I also know that I'm very blessed and that not everybody has a great support system. I have seen that firsthand, and that breaks my heart. But I do want you to know that if you feel like you don't have that kind of support system, that you can find it. That doesn't just mean that that's it for you and that's the support system you have. You can get support system. You can,
totally.
So anyway, I just wanted to encourage you guys, and especially if you have loved ones, you said something, you said, get educated. That was something that was the best thing you could have done. And as from a problem solver perspective, there isn't anything. There's, even with all of the education in the world, there's nothing you could do to fix this.
There's nothing.
Right. And that's so hard.
Well, and what compounded that, this, I'm not complaining, it just, it was the reality, is that you went from single to married. So while we didn't live together, we live, hundreds of miles apart, we still were very close and reliant on each other. But then not only now do you have this, are you dealing with the situation that I can't help you with, but you have a husband that you need to go to first.
Right. You're just having some separation anxiety from me in general.
Well, no, but
that's a different conversation.
No, but I know, not really. I'm just saying I would normally be far more involved than I was.
Oh, yeah, except I called you every day. Like, I called you more than I called Nick.
Okay, well, that makes me feel better. No, I'm just kidding. but you know what I'm saying, right? There was, all families go through a dynamic when you had a new member to the family.
Yeah,
we
sure.
did that. And
but honestly, I'm so grateful that we got married this year and that we were able to do this together. And that he really was my rock. I mean, like I said, I called you more. I called you twice as much because I called him once a day and I called you twice a day. So
yeah, well, that's because he has a job.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's true.
And I'm unemployed.
Yes.
Okay, but let me give you, really make this give you an example to make it clear. When you were getting ready to go down there, I was like clearing my calendar. I was going to go down. I was going to, if I could stay with you, I was going to stay with you. If not, I was going to get a hotel.
Yeah.
And I was going to be there the whole time. And it just hit me. You can't. She's an adult. She's married. Let this go. You're not going to solve this, right?
Poor mom.
No. It was...
I caused you such turmoil.
But no, that was great. So then when you did, you said, well, there's going to be a family day or whatever. We didn't know what it was going to look like.
Right.
And that might have been a chance for Dad and I to go down. We were fine with it, right? We would welcome that. But then it ended up that the 2 times someone came down, it was your husband.
Yeah.
So appropriate. So,
Well, and you just, again, I had never been. I didn't know what to expect.
I know. Well, us either.
So, yeah. Anyway, it was definitely an experience, and that I'm so grateful for. That's how this whole thing started, was I wanted to talk about how grateful I was for it. I'm grateful to be on this journey. It's very painful, but I would rather go through this journey and come out on the other side than live the way that I was living before, you know? And so, the other thing is, like, I can't do it alone. Like, I have to have Jesus with me. So, like, that's another big part, is like, I can feel his comfort and his peace while I was there, and even continuing on through treatment. And so keeping him at the forefront of this, I think has been really, really instrumental. And then also, as well as having a support system, you guys and Nick. So I'm super grateful. I'm super grateful for this podcast. Obviously, you guys aren't going to notice. You guys probably didn't notice, but we missed like 2 weeks of podcasting in September or October
while you were gone.
While I was gone. And like, that's why can't really podcast from there. So anyway, I know that was so heavy, but I tried to keep it as light as I could about a heavy topic. Right. But I do think it's important. Just once again, I want to encourage folks who are suffering with mental illness, like, get help. It's okay. It is okay to get help. You are so much more than your mental illness, and getting that under control and dealing with that and getting help is just going to make you so much more equipped to serve and to love others. Amen. And to share the good news of Jesus. And I feel like God wants you to be whole. Anyway, that's my soapbox. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. It's like such a weird thing to transition out of.
No, and I'm very grateful that you shared.
Yeah. So. Well, again, I'm sure we'll put some information in the description or at the beginning or the end of this video for resources for mental health. So if you need help, please use those resources.
Especially during the holidays.
Yeah, especially during the holidays. Yeah, we want you guys to be safe and cared for. So, and we love you, and we are praying for all of you. And yeah, I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas. I can say it now.
And Happy New Year.
That's right. All right. We love you guys.
Thank you. For more information on Project Brickworks, visit us online at projectbrickworks.org. Subscribe to our newsletter or text BRICK to 55498 to get the latest news and updates. We love y'all. Be blessed, and we'll see you next time. Bye.